Welcome to this special episode of the Evo India podcast, coming at you from Saudi Arabia, from the Dakar bivouac. It's the rest day. This is the day that the riders actually have the time. We can sit them down, talk to them about the Dakar, about the team, about their experiences. They're not struggling with the stages, struggling with the sand dunes. In fact, in Saudi Arabia, they even had torrential downpour in the desert. One of the stages had to be cancelled. Such was the heavy rain. So in this podcast, we're going to be talking to the three Hero MotoSport riders about the bike, about their Dakar experiences, about how difficult the Dakar is and why they keep coming back for more. In fact, there is so much to talk about that we're going to split this podcast into two parts. On the second part, we're going to talk to the team officials, Wolfgang Wafi Fischer, who is the team manager. We're going to talk to him about Hero's development through the Dakar, the journey, how the team has progressed, how the machines have been developed. We'll also talk to the marketing and communications head, Rohit Isaac, about Indian motorsport and how Hero is going to get even more involved in Indian motorsport. And also, because we have time with the riders, we're going them to sign off on some really cool Hero merchandise, like these jerseys, and we're going to run a contest in this podcast and give out a couple of these. So stick around for that contest. And before we go any further, let me also talk about why Hero MotoSport, why we're doing this with Hero MotoSport. Now, yesterday, which was the 8th stage of the 2023 Dakar, Ross Branch, the newest rider in the Hero team, he set the fastest time, the fastest overall time. Now, the reason why this is so significant is that Hero, they're going up against giants. They're going up against Honda, HRC, who are the biggest bike racing team in the world. They are right now leading the Dakar. So they're going up against all the factory Hondas and also KTM. KTM is the winningest two-wheeler manufacturer at the Dakar, and KTM and its sister brands, Husqvarna, Gas, all of them are more or less the same motorcycles. So Hero, the factory Hero team, is going up against these giants and they're doing extremely well for themselves. The pace of the bike is clearly up there. Otherwise, you won't set the fastest overall time. The riders are also up there, and they're doing this with a small setup. I will show you through the setup that they have over here. They've got 4 riders and 12 team officials. This includes the mechanics, the technicians, everything. So that's it, 16 people. That's the entire size of the Hero crew out here at the Dakar. And they're making a mark. They're making a mark against giants. And that is really important. It's also putting Indian motorsport on the global map. We've got the tricolor flying high up there. They're representing the country on the world stage. And the Dakar is no small event. It is the world's toughest, most difficult motorsport event. Really, really hardcore. The entire year goes into preparing for this one event. And of course, Hero is also taking part in the International Rally Championship. So their bikes are going places, and plus all the development that is going on those motorcycles, they will eventually lead to really cool adventures for us to ride back home in India, to ride on the road and also to take part in motorsport events with the X-Pulse 200. That is an evolution of all the motorsport journey and also all the technical learning in motorsport. Hero also has a technical center in Germany. So along with them in Germany and the CIT in Jaipur, all this development has been done. So that's what we're going to talk about on this podcast. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay subscribed to the Evo India channel. Hit that bell icon to stay notified.
Hey, are you going to carry on talking to the camera, or are you going to involve us riders a little bit?
So that's a good one, Ross. Okay, so let me introduce Ross Branch. This is your first year with Hero MotoSport and you're already doing really well. You did the fastest time on the 8th stage. That was yesterday, the day before the rest day. Let's talk about the Dakar, but before that, I want to talk about what your first impressions are of the Hero team.
Yeah, you know, it's been incredible. The team is amazing. It's a real family vibe and a homely vibe, and for me, that's exactly what I needed to try and get some good results. So super happy to be on the team, and you know, I think the team deserved them more than anything to get a stage win this rally. So I'm glad I could finally do that yesterday, and yeah, I'm really excited for the future with Hero MotoSports. I think you know, they're such a young team. They've got such great potential, and I think, as you can see, we've got the bikes that are ready to win. So I'm really excited for the future for us and for the team.
So you've ridden the Yamaha motorcycle, so that's what you took part in the last 2 years. How is the Hero bike different from the Yamaha?
Yeah, there's a lot of differences between the two bikes. The racing bikes this day and age are so competitive. So it's the small things like the handling of the bikes that are different, and a whole bunch of stuff like that affects the riding style. So this suits my riding style, and I'm really happy with the bike. And the team has put in so much hard work and so much effort into it, and it's coming out looking really good for us.
What motivated you to join the Hero boys?
If you look at the team, the team is amazing. It's a family vibe, and it's everybody's happy and laughing. And I think for me, that's the kind of person I am. So I think that's what wanted me to come over. I've been friends with the guys before I even came to the team, and everybody's super cool, and everybody loves racing. And I think that's what it's about. The love and the passion for the sport is incredible, and I would like to be a part of that and grow the sport and grow the brand, and hopefully take one of the bikes to the top step of the podium one day.
How much further does the development of the bike, or you as a rider, how much further do you need to go before you can get there to the podium?
I don't think we need to go much further at all. I think we've got what it takes. It would have been a great year for us this year. We've been unlucky with a couple of fuel issues during the first week, and it's just one of those things. It's rally racing. Anything can happen. There's a million things that can go wrong, and you need all of those things to go right before you get onto the podium of Dakar. And the speed and the pace of the riders at the moment is out of this world. So yeah, it's just good to be in it, and to get a stage win obviously shows we've got what it takes. So I'm looking forward to next year, and obviously for the rest of this year at the World Championships is going to be really exciting.
Yeah. How many years have you been in the Dakar?
This is my 5th year now, and unfortunately I've had 2 finishes and 2 non-finishes, so the 5th one I'm definitely trying to make the finish line.
So this is the 5th one, and what's your target for this Dakar?
This Dakar, obviously the target was to try and get into the top 5 in the beginning, and obviously with the bad luck we encountered during the first week, that's not going to happen anymore. So I just want to get to the finish line. The team deserves to be there. I think I need to be at the finish line this year just to show that I've got what it takes to finish the race and not just be one of those guys that never finishes. So I think I've definitely got to get to the finish line. That's the main thing at the moment.
Okay, so Ross, was it the 3rd or the 4th stage that you ran out of fuel?
Yeah, it was, I think I ran out on both 3rd and 4th stage. So it was a bit unlucky, a bit frustrating,
What happened? How did you run out of fuel?
We're running this because of the speed limiter that they've enforced onto the rally with the bikes to the 160 kilometers now. Obviously with that comes a lot of other changes you've got to make on the motorcycle. So we're running the new fly-by-wire electronic system, which can help us monitor that 160 kilometer an hour rule without getting huge penalties. And with that comes a lot of testing and a lot of work that goes onto it. Unfortunately, we only found out about the rule, and the rule was only enforced in July, so we didn't have much time to do some testing, and it caught us. We weren't aware of the problem, and obviously it was nobody's fault. There's no blame to be given. It was just one of those things, and we learned from it. The guys fixed it really quickly, and now obviously they've got back to where we need to be with a bike that can win stages.
So that 160 top speed rule that was enforced, it's been enforced for safety?
Yeah, they say that it's enforced for safety. My personal opinion is if you crash at 160 or if you crash at 190, it's going to do the same thing to you. So it is what it is. The rule is the same for everybody, and we've just got to make do with it and manage it the best we possibly can. And like I say, we had taken so many steps in the right direction before Dakar. Testing and getting the product that we have to such a high standard so quickly was incredible. So it was a really tough year for us trying to get it there as quick as we could, and yeah, it was something so small that caught us out, but it is what it is, and we've just got to move forward now.
So now the top speed is more or less the same for all the works bikes, for the Honda, for the KTM, Husqvarna, Gas, for the Hero, even for the Sherco. Acceleration is another big difference in terms of the performance. In terms of the sheer acceleration, is the Hero bike on par with the other factory bikes?
Definitely, if not on par, a little bit better. I think the acceleration of the bike and the bike itself is incredible. I'm really happy on the bike. Even before we went across to the 160 kilometer an hour rule, I think everybody in the bivouac knew that it was one of the strongest bikes out there. So yeah, I think we've got what it takes. It's just ironing out the small, finer details in getting these small issues fixed and under control, and then yeah, it's gonna be really good for us.
So you ran out of fuel. How did you get out of there? Did you push the bike? Did somebody give you fuel? What happened?
Yeah, that's the love of Dakar. You know, there's I had to wait a really long time, 4.5 hours. We were waiting in the desert, but all the competitors know how important it is to get to the finish line. And luckily for me, a couple of guys, 4 different competitors stopped to help me on the first day, and 3 different competitors stopped to help me on the second day. So it just shows the true sportsmanship of Dakar Rally and the love for one another out there. In the desert, you only have each other, and it's so good to see the sportsmanship that people stop and help you. Obviously, with that comes a huge risk for themselves, you know.
Yeah, because if they run out of fuel, then
yeah, they don't have enough fuel to get over, and you know, that would have killed me to see one of the guys that had given me fuel to stop on the side of the road. But luckily for us, everybody made it.
So they each gave you what? Quarter liter, half a liter?
Just 1 liter each. They gave it to me on the first day, and the second day 500 mils each, and we could get to the finish line. Well, to the refueling point.
That's crazy. And so did you buy those guys a beer at the end of the day?
Not yet, but I think I'm indebted to them in a big way after this rally.
So that's the whole deal with the Dakar. Everybody helps each other. And it's a lot of teamwork also that goes into it. Obviously the team that you have and your camaraderie, your friendship with the other riders, that's a big part of it. And you need to know all the riders to develop that camaraderie, right?
Definitely, you know, you need to be friends with everybody, and I think the moment you sign up for the Dakar Rally, you automatically become friends. I'm a true believer in that you make friends for life in the Dakar Rally, because I have a lot of my own friends for life that I've met here, and it's amazing to see, and everybody wants to see you get to the finish line. So that's the main thing, and everybody tries their best to help you get to the finish line. And it's the same, you know, even though the guys are racing for everything they have, but if you see somebody stranded on the side of the track, it's really good sportsmanship to stop and help out.
What do you like about the Dakar? Why are you doing this?
I love everything about Dakar. You know, it's you get it up in 3 o'clock in the morning, you ask yourself, why do I keep on doing this? But as soon as you're out there and you see the terrain that you ride through and the racing that you're involved in, and you know, it's the beginning of the year, so there's no other motorsport events on around the world. So a lot of people are focused on Dakar, and it's a true test to man and machine, and I think we've shown that. And the thing is, never give up. You know, you've got so many things that could go wrong, so many things that do go wrong, and you've just got to keep on getting up and trying to get to that finish line.
With the Dakar, now you say this is the 5th year that you have taken part in. Has it become more difficult in Saudi? How was it like in South America? What's the differences like?
Yeah, this year is extremely tough. You know, normally the race would have been finished last year. This time the race would have been finished at rest day, and now it's incredibly tough. You know, we're only halfway through, and the guys can feel it. That's for sure. The bikes are taking a toll. The riders are taking a toll. So it's really tough. And obviously the weather that we wouldn't have expected here. We've had rain pretty much every day, and some really bad weather. So yeah, it's all part of Dakar. It's all part of the experience. It's all part of the craziness, and the race is really crazy. And yeah, my advice to anyone that wants to do it is just follow your dreams and go do it. You know, it's once in a lifetime, and I'm just proud and privileged to be a part of the rally, and proud to be here, and with such an amazing team. I'm really happy. So, you know, I'm going to live life as the fullest as I can, and hopefully I can be back for a couple more.
Yeah, with the team, you've known the team also in the past. You came to India with the Hero MotoSport team. What's your first impressions like looking at the technical center in Jaipur?
It's world class, something I've never seen before. You know, I've been a part of different manufacturers and been to some really amazing facilities, but going to Jaipur and seeing the CIT and how everything operates was incredible. And just meeting everybody there was so friendly and so happy to see us and welcomed us with open arms was incredible. So I'm a big fan, and getting used to the food when I go there all the time, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, happy to call India my second home.
Did you also look at the riding talent that we have in India?
Yeah, sure. I was lucky enough to be a part of the program with looking for some new riders and helping them out and working with them. And you know, it's got a lot of talent, and I think there's a lot of people that can fill the shoes of us here at the factory team and going to the rallies in the future. I think it's a really good possibility. And to all the riders that have been riding and that I was helping with, was incredible to be a part of that. Such a cool program, and it's the first time in the world that something like that has happened, and really proud to be a part of that journey.
Have you ridden the X-Pulse 200?
Definitely, you know, I've been asking for an X-Pulse to have at home for so many years now, and to go and finally ride one in India and yeah, be a part of that has been incredible. I love the bike. It's an all-rounder. Anyone can get on it and go and ride and hone your skills. And then obviously if you want to go into the rally kit is available for the bike, and it's exactly what you need to get involved in the sport and to try and to make that step into rally racing, definitely.
Have you been involved in the development of the rally kit for the 200?
Not the development of the rally kits I haven't been involved in, but I have been riding the bike and doing a few tests for the guys, and it's incredible, and the bike is amazing.
Yeah, and this motorcycle that you are riding, how much development have you done on this motorcycle?
You know, when I arrived, I think the bike has been developed to such an amazing standard. I think J-Rod and Basti and Franco have been developing the bike and making it so good that there's not much that I had to do to the bike. You know, obviously just the personal settings and comfortable settings that I like riding with, I had to put on, but the bike is perfect. I mean, the first race I got on, I'd only ridden the bike one day before, and I managed to win a stage in Abu Dhabi. So I think that's a true testament to the amount of effort and the hard work that the guys have put into the bike. And I'm really happy with how the bike is at the moment, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
6 days left in the Dakar. Your target is to finish the Dakar. With the finish, what's your target to be in terms of the standings?
Yeah, you know, I'm so far back at the moment. I think I'm 6.5 hours off the front, and there's not much room for improvement. I've just got to try and, you know, just try the best I can every day. Not take too many risks. You know, obviously trying to win stages, you're taking a huge amount of risks to get to the front, and I'm just going to go out and have some fun, make sure that we bring the bike back in one piece every day, and just get to the finish line. Obviously, if we can win a stage or two before the end of the rally, that'll be a big bonus for us. But overall, you know, with the rough first week we've had, I'm really happy to end it with a stage win, and I'm just happy to get to the finish line now. I think that's the main goal for me, is just to reach the finish line, and if we can do that, I'll be happy.
Thank you. Thanks, Ross.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening, and please subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.
And before we let you go, take us on a quick walk through your entire setup here at the bivouac.
Okay, no problem.
Come on, let's go.
So this is what we have on a daily basis. We have to set up and down every day. The mechanics set up and down the tents. We got all our bikes over here. Each mechanic has their own workstation. The toolboxes in front is each mechanic has his own toolbox to work on the bikes, and some of the riders have different things on their bikes, so each toolbox is set up accordingly. There's all the mechanics over there working on the bikes. We've got our team truck with all our spare parts and everything. Follow me around our 5-star accommodation. Over here we've got the Radisson Blue of the bivouac accommodation. Fortunately for us riders, we're treated pretty well. We've got a camper van in the back, but all the management staff and the mechanics have to sleep in tents at each and every bivouac. As you can see, now it's nice and sunny and it's pretty comfortable, but the past week has been raining every day, so much mud everywhere. I really take my hats off to them to do this so we can go and have fun on our bike. Over here we've got the legend himself, Uncle Geordie, our roadbook technician and the guy that helps us not get lost. And let's see where Sebastian is. Ah, there's Sebastian's. Welcome to Sebastian's home. This is our home for the 2 weeks. Cool, and that's a little tour of our bivouac setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
So let me introduce you to Franco Caimi, the Argentinian rider who's right now the highest placed Hero MotoSport rider, in 15th position at the rest day at Dakar 2023. But Franco, this rally has not been easy. You came upon your teammate J-Rod who had crashed. How does that affect the riding? How does that affect your mental state in a rally?
Yeah, Dakar is really challenging in many ways, physically, mentally, emotional also. And you know, one of the things you have to overcome in races like this is seeing a friend, a teammate in the floor. This time was to Joaquim. and this is some of the big challenges you need to overcome in a race like this. So it's really difficult to move forward from a situation like this, and clear your mind to keep pushing until the end of the stage and the races to come, the days to come.
How much time does it take for you to be able to overcome that and then ride at your maximum speed? Does it take like a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, and until then only you can ride at full pace?
Well, it depends, it depends. They say that the pain measures the distance from your head to your heart, and this can last 5 minutes or 50 years. It depends on you. So the first thing of all, you need to accept what you are going through, and once you accept, you move forward. But it's not that you have a time in 30 seconds, 10 seconds, or 2 hours.
Yeah. In terms of the Dakar, you guys are on the bike. Y'all do have incidents every stage. On average, how many times do you fall off a motorcycle in a stage?
There's not an average on that. Maybe you don't fall in all the race, or maybe you fall every stage. It depends a lot on the conditions of the stage. How is the ground? How was the setting of the bike? If you're feeling comfortable or not. So it depends, but we all try to fall as less as possible.
And is there a way of falling that you don't hurt yourself?
I may have crashed a million of times, but I can tell you there's no crash identical to another one. So you just want, if you crash, to roll as much as you can, because every time you try to stop yourself is when you get hurt.
Yeah. Your riding gear is also getting better and better every year. That is also improving rider safety.
Yeah, for sure. We are wearing the Alpine Stars airbag protection, and this really helps a lot, and it keeps us much more safer, let's say.
Yeah. In this rally, the 2023 Dakar, what's been the most difficult part of it?
Every day, I can say it represents a new challenge. One of the main things, that the essential of Dakar is the surprise thing. You never know what you're going to go for, how is going to be the stage. So you have to be prepared for everything that can come, and this gets inside the weather, how is the ground, in which position you start, like many things, if you get lost or not, if you fall, like you said before, or not. So we really have to prepare ourselves the best as possible and be open to any kind of possibilities might happen.
How many years have you been riding with Hero MotoSport?
This is my second year.
In your second year. What is the atmosphere like in the team? What draws you to the team?
Very nice. I really enjoy spending not only the race days, but also every day here. We are like a group of friends, let's say, like a family. Really enjoy our time together. And not everything is about racing, and to make a team work, it has to be this environment where everybody feels comfortable and can give the best of its potential.
Yeah. The bike, in terms of speed, it is up there with the other factory motorcycles. Anything else that needs to be worked on the motorcycle?
The team has been working really hard. This year they made a big step on the bike. We are all happy with the progress that the team is doing. So we are really confident on the machine we have between our legs.
Yeah. What is your target for the 2023 Dakar in terms of the finishing?
That's the first one, to get to the finish. It's not an easy one. This Dakar has been really hard so far, and this is the main target I think for everybody, to get to the finish of the hardest off-road race in the world. But apart from that, we are working hard every day and pushing to try to give the best result possible for the team.
Has this been the hardest Dakar that you have ever done?
Yeah, for sure. In my case, yeah.
Have you done the Dakar in South America?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I raced in...
How is this different?
There are, in South America, we used to race in many different kind of conditions, terrains, because the desert is not so much the same as here. Here is very similar, everything. We can have more dunes, less dunes, more rock or less, but in South America, we went to many wet sites, kind of forest in some places, type of WRC tracks. Then we go to the desert, to the stones. It was like more variety, let's say.
Yeah. So here, because of the sand and just the similar kind of dunes, but it's tougher, right?
Yeah. And for sure, because we spent so many hours every day in every stage. They are pretty long. Until today, they have been really long. There was not even one stage, I think, with less than 4 hours on the bike pushing full throttle. So, it's not been an easy one, but we are here for it. We prepare for it. So let's see how it ends.
And finally, what is the attraction of the Dakar? Why do you come back year after year to the Dakar?
Passion. There's nothing else than that. We are athletes. What keeps us here is this, this will of getting a better version of yourself and be able to express it on the bike, doing what we love to do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, my
All
friend.
the best for the rest of the Dakar. Stay
you very
safe
much.
and look forward to seeing you at the finish line.
Sure.
And before we go, can you show us your road book?
Yeah, here we have a Dakar Roadbook. This was from stage 4. For the people that doesn't know, this is what we follow. This lead us through the track. Even though there's no track, we have to go reading these notes to find the good way. Many times we don't find it and we get lost, but basically, well, here we have the kilometers. This is start, depart. This says that 230 meters. After, we have to turn on the right. 500 meters later, we have a waypoint. This is like a virtual gate we have to pass through to validate it. If we don't validate it, then we have a big penalty. And then turn. You will see the blue arrow is the correct line we need to choose. Here, this double attention means that we have to be careful. It's important for us to brake here, because if not, we can crash. In the kilometer 1.6, then 2.3, we have a less visible hole or bowl after this summit with the Danger 2. This is another type of waypoint, waypoint caché or waypoint closed. This means we don't have an arrow to take us to the point of the waypoint. We just have to validate it and then follow this cap. The cap is the direction we need to take in an off-piste section to go find the next waypoint, the waypoint N. And this is basically how we go all over the stage. This is why it's so tricky, the rally, because we have to go navigating and following this, not just accelerating and giving gas. This is a speed zone area. This means we have to brake, and we cannot go faster than 30 kilometers an hour. Many of you will see that there are many penalties after a stage because of speed limits, and it's because when you enter in these kilometers, you were over the 30 kilometers per hour. This is why you receive a penalty. You cannot go higher than 30. This is why it's very important to brake until the kilometer 9.3, where the speed limit zone ends, and then you can push full gas again. Then at the kilometer 16, we have a waypoint Masqué. This is in a section of dunes. Then we have to follow this cap, 308. And basically, this is how we go all over the stage since we start the special stage until we finish. Every roadbook have around 300 notes. This is why it's so important to keep the concentration always, to be focused and don't miss any of these notes, because if you miss one, then you can have a big crash or you can get lost. Anyway, it's a waste of, you're wasting time. This is why we need to be very focused in every note of this roadbook. See how many notes I'm passing through, and we are just on kilometers 56. This means there are so many notes in a roadbook of 400 Ks. That is the average we've been doing in these first stages of Dakar.
So now we have Sebastian Buhler, who is with us, the third rider with the Hero MotoSport team. Sebastian, you're coming back to the Dakar after a gap of a year. Last year you had an injury. How hard is the Dakar on a rider? You guys fall off the bike, you get injured, you come back again. Why do you come back and how hard is it?
Yeah, it's not, the Dakar is the toughest rally in the world. It's different than the other rallies, also because it's so long. We make so much kilometers every day and all the liaisons. And yeah, I had the injury last year, and to come back strong, it takes a lot of work because the other riders don't stop. In the time when I'm recovering, the other riders are training, are racing. So it's difficult to come back to the fitness also, and also to the race rhythm, because the race rhythm you only can get racing. So it's difficult, but yeah, I like this stuff, and so I work very hard, and yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling that I'm not quite there where I want, but I will arrive there.
How do you train and prepare for the Dakar?
Yeah, normally I train a lot physical, and what I try to do is to do the most hours riding the bike, because here we are so many hours on the bike, and it's nothing you can do in the gym or on the bicycle that brings you the same feeling than riding the bike. So I try to focus to spend the most hours on the bike.
Yeah, I want to talk about this year's Dakar. How has it changed from previous editions?
Yeah, it's the last year I wasn't here, but from the other years I make, it's being very tough because the stages are very long. And also the liaisons we make to the stages and back are also long, and it's very, yeah, it's the people think that you only ride on the road, it's easy, but it's not easy because it's cold, we need to concentrate also. The traffic here in Saudi is crazy, the people drive like crazy. So yeah, it's being a really tough Dakar.
Yeah. What makes the Dakar special?
I think what it makes special is the beautiful country we are. Because we can ride here the bikes like in no other country. The desert is so open, and yeah, it's for ride the bike, it's amazing. And then the hardness also, because we like the hardness, and when you arrive to the end, it feels so good that you just want to come back next year.
So I heard that last year some riders had told the ASO in fact had done a survey amongst the riders asking if you wanted to be tougher, and a lot of people said that they wanted more stages and wanted more time, because this year the number of kilometers that you have done till the rest day, last year the rally was over.
Yeah.
So do you like it to be harder?
Yes, I like it. I like it harder. I like it to be harder, but the stages have so much kilometers, and yeah, the level in the front is so high that we need to take a lot of risk, and then more kilometers, more risk we need to take. But yeah, it's the same for everybody, and I like the rally like this.
So what are the kind of risks that you take in a stage? So a lot of riders keep saying that it is risky and you take more risks. What is the exact kind of risks that you take?
The risk we take is we're trying to go as fast as possible through the desert. We don't know the way, so sometimes you go off the track, or sometimes it's not right in the road book, and you hit some, like a little river or some stones, and that's the risks we take.
When you ride, there are tracks of the other riders ahead of you. So does that help you in terms of navigation? Can you just follow those tracks and carry on?
Yeah, for sure it helps, but you cannot only follow the lines, like you need to check the road book and look if you have the waypoints, because if the rider in front of you get lost, you will just go lost also. So it's important to check the road book and read, but because also some parts you arrive and you can't see marks because of the wind cleans, or you are on rocks, and if you don't know where you are, then you are lost.
Navigation is how difficult?
I think the navigation is the most important key here. It's to navigate and to can go fast and safe also. So yeah, the navigation and to be good prepared, I think it's the most important in this rally.
Yeah. For 2023, what are your plans?
Yeah, for 2023, I will work so hard that I worked last year. So to be every rally better and try to focus also on navigation to get better in this.
All right. Thank you. All the best for the rest of the Dakar.
Thank you.
And of course, the most important part on any Dakar is the motorcycle. And that's what we'll actually show you on the last part of this podcast, where we walk around the motorcycles, show you the different parts of the motorcycle, what has gone into this Hero 450 rally. And then the second part of this podcast is where we talk to the team officials on the progress and the development of the team.
Okay, come with me and I will show you my bike. Yeah, that's our bike. So yeah, here we have the tower, the navigation tower. Here we put in the roadbook. Here we see which kilometer we are. Here the cap. So that's our part for navigation. This is to see if we validate the waypoints. It also goes up to here, so we don't need to look so down here. With this button, we move the roadbook. Here we can adjust the kilometers. So that's one of the most important parts to navigate with the bike. Yeah, this is fuel tank here also, and here on the back also. 35 liters is the capacity. So in this sport it's very important because we ride very long distance between the neutralization, so we need to have good capacity. Yeah, down here we have the skid plate, also very important when we have stones. It's very, very strong when we hit something to don't damage the front tank and also the engine or the exhaust. Because if we damage, for example, the fuel tank, then the fuel comes out and we can't do anything about it. So here in front, here we have this stuff that it's given from the organization. It's safety material. Normally it don't make part of our bike, but this is the area track and this is from the organization. So if we crash or we find a rider that crashed, we press this and the helicopter comes to help, or if the bike damaged, it comes to pick us up. Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing on the bike. So yeah, that's what makes the bike complete.
Before we close this podcast, we also have a contest to run. So we got a couple of this team merchandise to give out, and we'll also get the riders to sign off on them. So we'll get autographed team merchandise. The question is, which year did Hero MotoSport debut in the Dakar? Let us know in the comments below, and a couple of lucky winners will get cool Hero MotoSport merchandise. And of course, if you enjoyed this podcast, do give us a shout out. Share this with like-minded enthusiasts, and of course, stay subscribed to the Evo India channel. On the next edition of the Evo India podcast, we'll be talking to Wafi, Wolfgang Fischer, the team manager at Hero MotoSport, and also Rohit Isaac, the marketing and communications manager, about Hero MotoSport's plans, both for the Dakar, for international rallying, as well as for Indian rallying and developing motorcycles that you and me can eventually buy. So stick around for that, and thank you for watching and listening.